So every single destination that is in front of us or that we could possibly go to excites me. And I think because of that, the thing that is really kind of motivating me lately, the thing that I would say is like my next goal to achieve as a sailor is crossing an ocean. Just to sail straight through, right over. I think that'd be really fantastic. And it would bring us to just a slew of other places that we'd love to explore.
All right. What a lady, what a night, what a start. Woo! First time sailing off anchor, season 2. Nobody was ready for it.
That went really well. The windlass is now able to handle the pressure of the chain a lot more easily without having the side of the boat against the wind and waves. Emily's bringing us into the 90-foot mark. We'll raise the mainsail probably about halfway at that point. We'll then pull in the rest of the chain, wait till we're on the appropriate tack, and head out of here. And as we're exiting, I'll open up the head sail as well here on the port side. Yeah, so we'll have a little bit of main, a little bit of head sail. That'll keep us balanced out of here. That way, if we need to do any serious maneuvering, we have the sail power and configuration to do that. And then once we get out there, we will see what the conditions are like and readjust our sails anyway. So everything's going super.
That was weird. It keeps cutting out, but I'm at 90 at the water line. It comes back every time. I run it and then stop to adjust the chain, and I go to click the button and it makes the click engage, but it doesn't actually run. No, I need the engine. It's dead.
What piece of advice would you give to a new sailor?
I think our friend Grace aboard SB Maya said it really well the other night. You can be as excited or as confident as you want in your sailing experience and sailing abilities, but if there's one thing boats are gonna do, it's humble you.
Am I anxious? Yes, but there's nothing I can do about it except for go through this process.
You should always be prepared and never get overly confident, because those are the moments where something bad is bound to happen.
The winch is dead! Yes! It goes in and out! Come on.
So grow the skill, but don't think that you're stronger than the wind or stronger than the ocean, 'cause they will take you down a notch if given the opportunity.
What's the matter?
Holy guacamole! What the just happened, huh? Wow.
Yeah, so that was ridiculous. That was insane. One of those moments where I wish that I had listened to my gut, and I should have listened to my gut and just had Will turn the engine on, but I still feel like we're learning the limits of all of our gear, and like everything is a learning experience. So we're trying to learn how to do these things in harsh conditions, and I should have just listened to my gut, and I should have just had him turn the engine on and take all the pressure off the windlass.
Man, I'm reeling with adrenaline. I am reeling with adrenaline. That was a crazy way to start.
I'm definitely a more confident sailor these days, especially on Appa. Here in the second season, I feel like Emily and I are so much more comfortable and knowledgeable of the different systems and different ways that he likes to sail and be operated, that it's just been a lot easier to get north to south this year than it ever was last year. And I think confidence is coming from that ease or familiarity that we have with this boat now.
We're going 9.2 knots right now. Fastest I think we've gone. I think it's comfortable. Not getting a lot of pressure on the wheel, which is good. The sails are balanced nicely. We got about 15 knots of apparent wind coming over us. So we're doing just fine. Might be going a little too fast. You might want to think about reefing just as it goes down so we don't get there in the night. But now I think we're doing plenty fine. Hit 9.2. Down. That's it. Don't jive. Don't jive. Look at your sails.
I'm trying not to.
There you go. Straight downwind.
I think I like longer passages better than short passages. Short passages are nice, and it's nice to be able to just like pick up and go without having to worry too much about making sure that things are perfectly put away or whatever, because you're just going to drop anchor in a few hours. But those long passages where you get into the flow of being on the water and you're so isolated out there on your own, there's just a whole different experience that having multiple overnights on a passage, you just really become, I don't want to like be cliche and say like become one with nature, that you just like can't take those moments for granted. So I definitely think that the long passages are my favorite. There's just something about finding a flow out there with the ocean.
Alright, here it is. Whoa! The next one too. Holy guacamole! How fast were you going there?
I don't know, I was watching the wave. I'm now going 7.8, so you're at least going 8 knots.
Holy shit, dude!
That was huge.
That was crazy! Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Nicely done, Skippy. Pretty cold out here at night. I just got on shift 20 minutes ago. And we'll make it my shift. We're less than 3 hours away. So I did some research, read up on how to approach this anchorage. Everything's looking good. We got plenty of wind. We depowered all the sails. Emily did that while I was sleeping on her last shift. And yeah, timed this one pretty great. Coming to the entrance here as the sun rises.
it was surprising to me how much I enjoyed the community of other cruisers. That was something I never dreamed about. Anybody thinking about sailing the world is just full of dreams, and mine were always based in like remote adventures, isolation, off-grid, self-sustaining. And after about a year of that in the Sea of Cortez, I found myself really appreciating just getting to know other cruisers, other people who had these wild dreams and went through with doing them. And this season, we've been with a lot of other cruisers, a lot of other friends, and it has been a more important part of my life than I was expecting it to ever be with this lifestyle. So that was definitely an unexpected, big positive thing for me, was being surrounded by similar-minded people. All crazy.
So we've just successfully dropped off our laundry. What did you say, 22 kilos?
22 kilos.
22 kilos of laundry. And it cost about 630 pesos, which is about 30 US dollars. So all in, really not that bad. They'll have it done by 1 p.m. today. It is now probably like 8:30, 9 o'clock.
Early.
So pretty quick turnaround. And now we're gonna go walk around town and see if we can find a printer so we can print our Coast Guard paperwork for the new boat name. We have to sign that and send it back. And the fishing store wasn't open yet. So we might go wander and see if we can find burrito tacos instead.
So there is a boatyard in San Carlos, and supposedly they take you on this big like sled and tractor system from the water where we just were over to down the highway here. And perfect timing, we're actually seeing a boat getting trailered down the highway here. Mast is still up and everything, so kind of fun. It's about 9 o'clock here. Getting the boat ready. We're getting out of here. Hey Lou. We're getting out of here. I'm sure this is confusing to him. Being on my own floating little island is probably my favorite thing there is in the world. Looking good, baby. Looking good. Complete self-reliance, complete independence, complete freedom. We can make Appa anything we want him to be, and then we can bring him anywhere we want to bring him. And that's incredible. I don't know if there's going to be anything better than that. All right, there we just extended the whistle pole, telescoping, got it out. We have a really big head sail, 135. So get that pole out there, and I think we're set. I think we can check the engine and get the hell out of here.
Cool. It is 7 a.m. The sun just came up about 30 minutes ago. We are about a third of the way to Altata. Making great time. We've been averaging about 6.5, 7 knots this whole time, which is awesome. It's also really cold, in case you can't tell. We are currently doing 8.5 knots speed of the ground with a pretty consistent 15 knots of apparent wind coming directly over our starboard stern. We're sailing right along. We're on course, making good time. Sea state's pretty crazy. I feel like neither of us got much rest last night because we were like sleeping, you're still correcting from the waves, so my body feels tired. Hopefully the waves die down a bit today. But all in, make really good time.
That first 1,000 miles we did from Peñasco down to PV was some of my favorite sailing of all time. All of our systems were recently worked on, working really well. We were more comfortable with them. Appa was flying, and we were just racking up the miles.
Alright, Whisker Pool is down now.
Big time.
I was only able to do a quick inspection, but I think I found the problem.
Well, the sea state is finally starting to calm down now at around 1 p.m. We have rearranged the sail wing on wing, and we're making that final curve back towards land. We still have a little over 24 hours to go, but we're starting that slow J curve back towards land. But thankfully the seas are finally calming down. It's a little bit more comfortable. We've both just been, anytime we're off shift, we've both been sleeping because we got like no rest last night between trying to make sure the dog was okay and just also shifting around ourselves. You're not really getting much rest. Even if your brain's off, your body's tense. So happy that the sea state's calming down for sure. But we're still doing 6 knots, yeah? Still doing 6 knots, so about 2 knots slower than what we were doing with the whisker pole, but it's still faster than our predict wind models had us going, so that's cool. But all in, things are moving. We're going.
We call them wingdings. Wingadings. And that's because my buddy Kevin and I were buying my first boat. We were like 17 or 18. And we couldn't remember what the lady had called them. And we were just learning all the boat terms. So we said, F it, wingadings. And make it all up with confidence.
Alright, see how night mode goes here. I've had a hell of a night. I was on the midnight shift, 9 p.m. to midnight, and about halfway through I had a migraine, and I waited a little bit too long to take any medicine. By the time I got around to it, Excedrin just wasn't going to cut it anymore. So I had to take one of my prescription pills, and yeah, things took a turn there. Normally I get like a little lightheaded or woozy, and it's fine, you know, just lay down and ride it out. That's what gets rid of the headache. But this time I got just violently seasick. I couldn't maintain my equilibrium, and yeah, it was bad. It's kind of the worst of both worlds, because the medicine wasn't in my body long enough to get rid of the migraine, just long enough to make me sick. Yeah, but the lesson here is if the bottle says do not operate heavy machinery while under the influence of this drug, that includes boats, 21-ton boats.
and then it's 20 miles to the entrance of the channel. And the channel is surrounded by breaking waves and extreme shallows, and we don't want to go in at nighttime. So as soon as I make this drive, I'm going to be decreasing sail even more. We've had the brakes on all day, trying not to get here in the dark. We'll continue that. I'll probably just have the mainsail out. It's a nice beam reach there, 20 miles. I'll try to average around 2.5 knots. Gonna say around 7:30. It's about an hour after sunrise and 2 hours after high tide.
Where's it look the least wavy? Or?
Yes. Right there.
Okay.
I think one of my favorite sailing stories, at least recently, and honestly doubles as a cultural experience, was crossing the bar into Altata. It was a terrifying experience to start, with us seeing 6 feet on the depth sounder, which meant we had like 1.5 feet below the keel, and we were riding 6-foot waves. And so there was like a very real possibility that we were just going to get absolutely slammed, run aground, totally damage our keel. So that was like an adrenaline rush.
Do you see this small break right
Yep.
here?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Exactly what I'm aiming.
You okay?
Looking good. Depth is 7. Make sure you got a good grip up there.
It looks pretty calm now. It looks like we made it past the big breakers out there.
Hell yeah, baby!
Still okay on deck?
8 feet.
That's a good sign.
But then after we got across the bar and into the channel, all of these pangas came out of nowhere and were like cheering us on, waving us into the channel. We had dolphins coming around that like followed us almost the entire way into the anchorage. It was like magical. And then we got into Altata and we anchor and we get to see all of the fishermen coming back with their catches. And instead of just like turning on the motor and coming back into shore, they fly these spinnakers and just drift with their nets across the bay there. So you come in and you see all these beautiful, colorful spinnakers just scattered across the bay, and they all bring them down and motor home, and it was such a cool experience. Altata was amazing. Definitely one of my favorite places we've ever been, even though we were only there for a short period of time.
We did it. We made it.
Woo! It's a kiss. Hey!